When it comes to maintaining the appearance and longevity of your property, experience truly matters. Pristine Clean Exteriors are Dorset and Hampshire's trusted specialists in high-end exterior cleaning, working with homeowners and businesses who expect excellence and want to protect the long-term value of their buildings. From roof cleaning, gutter maintenance and commercial window cleaning to pressure washing for driveways, patios and building exteriors, if it's outside, they can clean it. The expert team uses advanced soft wash technology to clean roofs safely, removing moss and grime without damage, and every roof comes with a moss-free guarantee. They also offer cherry picker hire, ensuring safe, efficient access to even the most challenging areas. With a reputation built on safety, reliability, and exceptional results, Pristine Clean Exteriors deliver professionalism you can trust, from the first impression to lasting protection. Pristine Clean Exteriors, from the roof to the ground, they've got your exterior covered. Quote Spilling the Tea for 10% off your first service. Welcome to Spilling the Tea with Laila Safaee, my podcast featuring real, authentic conversations with empowering guests I've met along my entrepreneurial journey. This is where we have unfiltered chats about business, life, and everything in between. The wins, the lessons, the moments that shaped us, and the stories that remind us we're all still figuring it out. If you love hearing the truth behind success, the grit, the growth, and the glow up, you're in the right place. So grab your iced matcha, settle in, and let's spill the tea. Today I'm joined by someone who truly defines resilience, the incredible Charlie Perrin. Charlie's story is one of complete transformation, from a tough start in life and challenges that could have broken him, to becoming a successful business owner, homeowner, and the founder of Pristine Clean Exteriors. He's built a life that looks nothing like the one he was handed. He's been through it all, from getting in trouble with the police to battling his own demons, but what makes his journey so inspiring is the way he's turned it all around. Charlie's proof that no matter how hard life starts, you can change your story when you decide to back yourself. In this episode, we talk about resilience, personal growth, and what really drives him to keep moving forward, even when life tests you. It's honest, raw, and real, exactly the kind of conversation I created this podcast for. Now let's go spill the tea with Charlie Perrin. Charlie, welcome to Spilling the Tea.
Thank you for having me.
No, honestly, it's such an honour. Obviously, for people that don't know who you are, we always start this podcast with how we know one another. So,
You're my son's auntie.
And I love that you're the first guest to open up with me because this podcast is so important to me. And also because I know you and I've known you forever because you were my sister's first boyfriend and now dad of lovely Huey. I know your journey and it's honestly such an honour and a privilege, knowing your story. And we were just discussing off camera, you coming on the podcast and being brave enough to share your story is going to be really pivotal, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope, I said to you before coming on here, if we can help at least one person overcome some obstacles that they might be going through sharing what I've been through and how I've overcome it, and that's a win-win.
100%.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. I mean, on a high, I just want to start with, I'm so fucking proud of you. I know your journey and that's why you're here, because I really want you to share it.
Thank you.
But you're a homeowner, you've got an amazing business. Do you feel proud of where you're at?
I do, yeah. If you were to rewind back 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would be a completely unrecognisable person if you said that this is what my life would turn out to be, and I'd, have my own home and have my own business and actually be successful and overcome all the things that have happened over the years. I probably wouldn't believe you. So
no, it's one of those, isn't it?
You kind of don't really sort of look back, do you, and actually think, God, yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know that your journey it started from a really tough place. Would you mind sharing a little bit about what growing up was like for you?
Yeah, so I grew up on a council estate. I lived at home with my stepfather and my mum and my 2 little sisters. Life was relatively normal. We didn't do any holidays or anything like that. I think that's probably quite normal back then. Things started to sort of change about 13 for me. My mum suffered with agoraphobia,
What's agoraphobia, Charlie?
which is basically she can't go outside of the house, and she suffered that for years. She was an alcoholic. So quite early on, I took the responsibility to basically take on the parent role. My dad would be at work, so therefore I would make sure that my sisters got up for school, pack their lunches, take them to school. I'd finish school and then go and pick them back up. All that kind of stuff. So I took a lot of responsibility on quite sort of early on. There was a lot of domestic violence. At one point, we actually ended up in a refuge, and we actually had one of these big box phones. Probably don't do them anymore. I had like a red button on. So yes, remember these little things that stay with you.
It's a lot.
So we had a very sort of turbulent childhood around that. One thing my mum said to me was when I was 13, I always thought that my stepfather was my real father. So I always called him Dad. And because of what was going on between them, one day she actually told me, she goes, your dad's not your real dad. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So
wow.
That was a bit of a wobble. And regrettably, I pursued a relationship with my biological father at the time, which obviously would upset my dad a lot, which is something I got to live with now. Ended up moving up north for about a year, went to school there and stuff. And I came back during the summer and I was with all my mates. The sun was out. I felt comfortable, loving life. And I rung him up once and I was down Poor High Street. And I rung him up. I was like, I actually want to stay here. Like, I've made a mistake going up north. There's no beaches. There's no sandbanks. There's the canal. You know what I mean? If the sun's out, you're going down the canal, and that's about as good as it gets. And there's just things that happened that I won't go into up there as well. But I rung him up and I was in Poor High Street and I said, so I was on the phone. I said, oh, you're right, Dad. Yeah, I was in a good mood and stuff.
Is this your biological dad?
This would have been a biological father at the time. And I said, look, I want to stay here. I didn't think nothing of it. I want to stay here. And he's like, well, I'm going to tell you now, if you stay there, I don't want nothing to do with you. And I paused and I was like, didn't even know how to take it. So I was like, all right, I guess that's that then. That was the last time I ever spoke to him.
Ever?
Mm. So that was the last time I spoke to my dad, my biological father. Big up my stepdad. Call him Dad. He has brought me up. He's done his absolute best with what he's had. My mum walked out when we were like 13, so he was a single parent bringing up the 3 kids. So big up Robbie.
Oh, good man.
So there was that, and then.
Did you say that Robbie was quite upset when you reconnected with your biological dad?
Yeah, but obviously he wanted the best for me, and he respected that. He never treated me any differently. He was always there for me when stuff went on up there. He was there, supported me. When I had to go back,
what a man.
Yeah, when I had to go back home, like a few years ago, he was there for me, welcomed me with open arms, sort of thing, which is good. But when I was around that age, and a lot happened around the same sort of amount of time. There was a lot of, again, with the domestic violence and stuff, my uncle at the time had a fight with my dad. My dad didn't retaliate because he knew the kids were in the house. And if he did retaliate, it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
So there was a massive fight at the house. And when you're a kid and you hear grown, this guy's like 6 foot, 18 stone, he's full of tattoos.
Big boy.
And there's blood everywhere. And that was a big event. So that sort of went on.
That's awful.
But part of that era is my uncle at the time actually murdered my auntie and stabbed her to death.
I didn't know that, Charlie.
There's a lot you don't know. There's a lot that people don't know. But I have 3 cousins that were there.
When that happened? That is fucking traumatizing.
It is traumatizing.
And this all happened, so you've got event after event after event. It's
This
like
is-
one thing after another.
Yeah.
And these are like once in a lifetime things that you'd never wish would happen, and all of them are happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I guess so.
You just didn't know any different because that was just life.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt safe with my dad because he's a bit of a boy as well, but also he's not.
I love that. I love the way you talk about him. Honestly, it makes my heart melt.
But also he puts his kids first. So he knows, like he knew if he retaliated, he probably wouldn't be around, you know.
Yeah.
And you can just see what that man, my uncle at the time, was capable of.
And this is the man that murdered your auntie.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So that was like 13 to 16. And, you know, we lived at home and stuff. And then I would get into, I would get into trouble with the police. I lost my driving license, doing a lot of drugs. I think I've got a really addictive personality. So I was channeling it into the wrong things. And this would probably make a little bit more sense with this whole story. Is I was channeling it into drugs, channeling it into recreational drugs, alcoholism, even steroids. So I was getting into bodybuilding, and I think I was always trying to prove something, and that translated into my career. So when I went into hospitality, I was a manager at 18 straight away. So I was actually a manager at 17, and then when it was my birthday, I was like, got the sign off, right, you're a manager now. And I've always been driven, ambitious, because it's like I've had to try and, I don't know, prove something to myself. I don't know. So that's like, so I went into hospitality, worked my way up the ladder. And
do you think that gave you not an escape? Like everything you're saying is hugely relatable.
Yeah.
And I totally hear what you're saying, but was work something that you had control over and then you could just give your absolute everything, like
Yeah,
to be the best you could?
Yeah, 100%. And it's like a distraction as well. Like, Charlie, do you want any overtime? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, love the money.
Did you get addicted to work?
Probably did. Yeah, addicted to bodybuilding, all that kind of stuff. So that's like my work career, gone into like the hospitality stuff. And I just felt like I was capable of more. And that's when I obviously started my own business.
Was that inspired by Grandad? Didn't it start with window
Yeah,
cleaning?
yeah, that's right, actually. Yeah, bang on the money. Bang on the money. So...
because that always makes me smile.
Yeah, so my granddad showed me, he was like pressure washing driveways, and it was like the before and the after, and I was like, what? So you get paid to clean stuff? Like, just what? Baffled me. Well, how good is that? I have to go to a corporate job, put on my suit and tie, and, you know, and I'm like, you're just going out in your van, having a coffee, chatting to the customer, pressure washing. That's amazing. Like the before and after, and how happy you're going to make that customer as well.
Yeah. Did you ever go out with him?
I did a little bit, yeah. Yeah, did a little bit, but yeah. And I was like, I want to do that. So, but then I knew you couldn't just go out and start a pressure washing company. Well, you could, but it's probably not going to last because you need to build that recurring income. So it was a case of build your foundations first. So basically I went out, I didn't have any money to start. When I bought the first van, it blew up on Asda roundabout in Bournemouth. If anybody's familiar with that roundabout, it blew up. And
Not right on a central roundabout.
Yeah, I thought the thing was going to take set alight because there was smoke coming out of the engine. I only had it a month.
Oh,
So that blew up.
So all these challenges when you're just trying to start a new life, like
yeah. But so that was interesting.
So did Grandad sort of teach you sort of behind the scenes of the business, like because setting up a company and taking that plunge from employment to like working on your own and being self-employed, like that's a huge step.
So he didn't, no, because we don't talk anymore. But possibly for that reason didn't feel supported in that respect. So I haven't had any direction in life really. My dad done what he thought was best. He said get a good job, get a good pension, and I think we are taught that from that sort of generation, like security. Whereas I've learned as I've got older, I've done what you said. I'm at the top of the food chain in my job, and I'm only getting paid this. And for me to get any more money, I need to be a regional manager managing like 15 sites. That's not me. So that's when I was like, there must be a way of, because it's hard out there, like with money and how expensive things
So
are.
expensive.
I'm like, this just isn't enough money to do what I want to do as well. But in respect of that, no. So I didn't really have any direction. It was kind of roll with the punches and have that imposter syndrome and just try and navigate how this is going to work and chuck yourself out there and learn from your mistakes. And I think also unlearning as well from all the shit that's gone on and all the trauma that's happened. I've had to really work on myself and unlearn a lot of stuff, which I'm still trying to do as well.
We all are.
Exactly.
I
So,
don't think that ever stops, you know.
we look at self-development as like always constantly learning, but actually you need to unlearn a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff you've been taught isn't right.
Agreed. So you essentially, you realised that working a 9 to 5 corporate role just wasn't for you. And then there was a limitation to like what money you could make, and you just wanted a better life.
Yeah, I wanted a better life for my son. I knew that I had this burning desire inside you, and I think that you probably know, you've probably felt it as well. I feel like a lot of business owners do have that something inside of them that is telling them that they need to do something else. And I think you just need to, whatever that is, you just need to go for it. And it's very hard because I always get on good money. I was on very good money, but I just thought, this can't be my life.
No.
Like there's something telling me that I need to like go into a different path. But ultimately as well is provide a better life for my family. And doing what I was doing wasn't really going to sort of deliver that. And I knew that when I did get into the window cleaning side of things, so obviously I started, the how it all started was starting a window cleaning round. So going back to what I was saying earlier, I couldn't start a pressure washing company because there's no reoccurring income. So it was about building the foundation with building that regular client base. So I knew that I'd be earning X amount. And the way that I'd done that was, obviously I had no money. So I'd actually go to people's doors and just knock on their door and say,
Did you? Door knocking?
Introduce myself, ask them if they need a window cleaner. You kind of figure out what to say, how to say it, how to do the approach. You need to get a few under your belt and then you know how to sort of convert it. And that was a good thing about starting a window cleaning business. It didn't start, it was like bucket and squeegee, you know.
Is that how you started?
That's how
Love it.
That's, you know, swear
Low
it all.
overheads.
Low overheads.
Blown up van.
Unless you got blown up van.
We all start somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, when I set up Silver Birch, we had an office in Bournemouth Town Centre, and it was not a choice of mine, but my business partner at the time, he had another business in this building. So he was like, there's another room in here. I mean, there was a shared toilet between like 16 offices. There was no cleaner for that toilet. So basically, yeah, parking fines every day because there was no parking. It was just, but I look back now in my mind and I think about that office and this whiteboard on the wall with like week 1. I think I've got a picture somewhere, week 1, week 2, week 3, with this plan of like, I don't know. And I just remember thinking, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. It's amazing. And there you are with a bucket and a squeegee doing your rounds, like
heart beating out my chest. But I had no choice. There was no, I think that's why it succeeded as well, because there was no plan B. It was plan A. This had to work. There was nobody that was going to give me any handout. There was nobody that's going to help me. Like, I had to succeed. And I think I knew that. So I had to go out and get those customers. And within about 2 or 3 years, we built up to about 350 regular clients.
that's unreal.
Yeah.
So you hadn't even touched on the jet washing yet. So you literally had a wrap, like 350 regular customers.
Yeah. And as you start to build that and you start to build your reputation and they know that you're friendly, you're reliable, you're going to turn up, because that was something that I noticed early on, was there was no reliability, there was no quality in the people that were out there. People weren't wearing uniform, like the window cleaners weren't wearing uniform, they weren't having sign written vans, they weren't texting the customer the day before to let them know they were coming. Just little things that made me stand out from the rest.
Or I've had an experience of a window cleaner once. I won't say what area, but when I was living in a house, I inherited the window cleaner, and honestly, I thought the mafia were coming because I'm so busy and I don't handle cash, right? So I sort of inherited this window cleaner, and I honestly thought they were going to come and take me out.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't put money under the bin. It was the worst customer service I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I was literally in Westbourne this week, and there's a guy with the pole, and you can see this pole like over like a few meters away, cleaning his neighbour's window. And honestly, all he's done is just spray it with water, move on to the next one, and then the window's open, and he's pissing water all over the place. And I'm like, that's my competition. We were double the price, but that's
you get what you pay for, though.
You do get what you pay for.
I would rather have a much more professional service where I'm not going to walk into my bedroom and find that the floor's soaking wet because they haven't thought to close a window.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, if you turn up in like a uniform, I feel like it gives just a bit of peace of mind as well.
Yeah. I noticed there was a gap in the market for those kind of things. And that's why we sort of built it up. And then people would ask, do you do pressure washing, to do the gutters and things like that. We'd bolt that on, and that's what we've continued to do over the last few years. If we bolted the cherry picker stuff on, so we offer that as a hire now.
And what better way of doing market research by listening to your customers and like chatting to them? And
yeah.
So obviously the beginning was like a mega struggle, but like, did you still enjoy it? Like the early days?
Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I did. Yeah, you do. Because you it's like the grit in it, and you're just like, oh, God, what else is going to be thrown at me? Because everything gets thrown at you. Like the van blowing up, just one small example of, because then when I got the new van, the DPF filter went on it in a couple of weeks. And you get so used to it. A lot of people will be like, come out of their house and they look at their car and they go, flat tire, and it'll ruin their whole day. Or somebody will cut them up in a traffic jam and it'll ruin their whole day. You need to obviously have that thing. It's like, right, you've thrown that at me. What else? Come on, what else are you going to give me? Let's have it. Do you know what I mean? Because then it's a story and you get to talk about it, and I get to pass that on to my son when he grows up and he's going through challenges. I can go, mate, this is it. This is what you need. You need to get used to rolling with the punches.
I don't want him going for any challenges, thanks. Auntie Lala is going to protect you, boy.
Bubble wrap him.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to put him in bubble wrap and just put him on a desert island where no one can go near him.
Yeah.
No girls, no boys, no one. I'm joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of interest, because obviously having your first child is a really big stage in life. Was Huey born before you set up the window cleaning business, or was he born during that time of?
I think he was cooking in the oven when I left the workplace, so that did add a nice bit of pressure on. To be fair,
yeah.
So that was again, 'cause, it was literally now or never, because of Huey was obviously en route. I think it was actually, I think I left and started the business, and then
That feels about right.
His mum fell pregnant with him. So yeah.
Do you think your son being on the way was a huge part of like supporting that new direction? Because the truth is, with what you went through in life from childhood, you could have taken a total U-turn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your path could have been so different. Do you think you were already on that path before he arrived, and he just carried that
Yeah, I think having my son changed everything. It changed how I look at life, and it changed. It's not about me anymore. He comes first, and if I'm going to role model and be an example for him, then I need to make sure that I'm making the right decisions. That I can't be a hypocrite with anything that I do. So yeah, he is the complete driving force, because I wouldn't want him to be in a job that he doesn't like, because that's what I was in. I was in a job that I didn't like, and I was miserable for a long time. And I've had partners one of my ex-partners at the time when I was in that corporate job, I kept saying, I just need to get out. I need to get out. No, stay on good money, on good money. Now I'm like, I should have just done it earlier, but we always look at hindsight's a beautiful thing.
Also, my brain is going down the route of, it's actually brilliant that you had that time in hospitality, because the way you talk about the early days of your business and seeing a niche in the market for like good customer service, being presentable. I mean, I can't talk for you, but I feel like you probably, had you have not done that ride, you wouldn't have seen that opportunity.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think, saying, as the saying goes, everything happens for a reason, all of that. I don't think the business would have succeeded without my experience in the workplace. If I did start at 18, 19, it probably would have flopped. But obviously I had the driving force with Huey as well. And I was passionate about doing a good job for people as well, and actually providing people that weren't actually getting a decent quality of service out there. Yeah.
There's nothing better. And also I feel like your passion does come through. It really does. And people feel that and they like that.
Yeah.
Some could say it's a really mundane job, cleaning windows, but it's not really, because it is what you bloody make it. Any business is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the sky's the limit. So when I took it to about 350 customers, we actually sold the window cleaning off, and we reinvested that money back into the business. So ever since I started, I didn't take any money for myself. It was reinvest in the best equipment, reinvest in looking professional, reinvest in systems, reinvest in processes. You haven't earned the right to treat yourself yet, Charlie. You're building the foundations. Like,
but could you cover your bare basic bills though? And
And I think people think they're going to start a business, and you're like, yeah, get all the money, I'm going to be loaded. It's like, mate, you get paid last. Everybody gets paid before you. And if there's any money left at the end, because you just bought a new van because it's just blown up, you ain't got no money, mate.
No.
But everybody comes first. And I think to be a successful business, to run a successful business and to be a successful business owner, you have to be selfless. You have to put your team first. You have to put your customers first. And that's what I believe makes a successful business, is putting everybody first.
Yeah, agreed.
God,
it was a painful few years for me. I remember, because you have to put the staff before yourself, your team. Like, you are the last one on the list. And that's painful. And you need some serious resilience to be able to handle that. And the truth is, I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? I feel like there's a lot of trending, be a founder, work for yourself, but I'm not convinced that everyone's actually cut out for it. And that's okay, because sometimes, quite frankly, I think I would earn so much more money if I was at the top of my game, working for someone with less responsibility. I could switch off at 6 p.m. I probably never would, because even when I've been employed, I've not thought like that. But you know what I mean? That you've got security, and actually some people are driven by different things. Sometimes I think, Christ, every day I walk into the flames. Like you were saying earlier, you just don't know what's around the corner. But the resilience to, if I think about my morning, I've been let down by 2 people this morning. My hair went terribly wrong.
Yeah.
I could have walked into the studio and been such a miserable old bat. But I took a few deep breaths on the car journey here, and I was like, let's look at the positives of today. I'm so excited to be sat with Charlie in the studio. Yeah. I'm so excited to hear his story. But I think you touched on it earlier. Sometimes people could be cut up on the road and it'll ruin their whole day. And it's that inner grit that you have to to like get up every day, even though you might, it's like the toughest day ever. Like not everyone is cut out for that. And that's okay. But I think you've got to be quite a special individual to...
It's perspective, isn't it? You got to try and have the right perspective on all the negatives that happen. You need to try and flip it. That's what I believe anyway. I think like going back to like parenthood, I feel like a lot of parents that have kids these days, they're like, well, I had it bad, so you're having it bad. Whereas for me, it's like I've learned X, Y, Z and how it made me feel and what I witnessed. My son ain't going through that. I need to like be the best so that, you know, I need to be the best for him because I don't want him going through that.
I get that. But then it's a hard job being a parent because on the other side, I look at why I'm the way I am, why you are the way you are, the things that we've gone through that have made us resilient or, you know, taken us on this course of life. And had we have not gone through that, I'm not agreeing that children should be subjected to domestic violence or anything like that. Absolutely not. But it's then learning how you teach those lessons so they still understand that struggle. They don't go through that struggle, but they like, it's a hard odd job. It's probably why I'm not a parent, Charlie. I haven't got it in me, mate.
Yeah. But I think all of those things that have happened at the time, they're not positive, but positive do come out of them. They might not make sense at that moment in time, but they might make sense later. And I believe these things make you can choose whether it makes you a better person or not. And that's what I try and choose to do. I think you can choose to be happy and you can choose your perspective on things.
Yeah. Did you, so obviously you go from alcoholism, drugs, taking a big risk, leaving your employment to set up your own company. Is that like, that's like a huge change in path. Was there anything, did you find like fitness, like, was there anything that you found for yourself to also help you? Because obviously there's work, but like holistically, like, I've seen you boxing actually, boy. You're forgetting a big thing here.
Yeah. We'll touch on that. But I think for me, having routine and goal setting. So I had one of my most successful years has been a vision board and having the pictures of what I wanted to achieve. And one of the things was a picture of a cherry picker doing Snowdon Mountain. So there was like fitness, business, take my son to Disneyland and all of that. And like 90% of it was crossed off.
Did you actually print pictures?
Print it, yeah.
Did you? Old school, I love that.
It was, and it worked. It was like one of my most successful years.
Because you had that
vision board. I'm quite big on routine. So get up when you say you're going to get up. I always have a cold shower every morning.
Do you? Because
it just teaches you discipline. I know it sounds like really simple, but just get in there and it's torture. But afterwards, you feel like you've achieved something. You know, when you make your bed, like make sure your bed's made. Just all these little things that I do in the morning. Like that's another win. That's another win. And it sets me up for the day because there's some punches that are going to be thrown. I can guarantee it. Yeah, there's going to be some curveballs that are going to be thrown that day. So.
Have you ever missed that routine?
I've missed it, but I'm really good at, like, I fall off the wagon, but I get back on it very quickly.
Because you recognise the great that it brings to your life.
Yeah, and it affects my mood, affects everything. I think some people don't need to train, they can function, which is great. Whereas I'm somebody that needs to train. Like if I don't train, I've got brain fog and don't make the best decisions and all the rest of it. So yeah, for me, like how I operate is just doing little wins and making sure that I'm goal setting and doing all the fitness stuff.
So do you get that your routine is pre-work and then you go smash the day?
Yeah. Set myself up for success.
I love that you had this vision board and then you made everything happen.
Yeah.
I might try it.
Yeah.
So have you got one now?
I knew he was going to ask me that. I was trying to dodge it.
You're going to go home. You're going to go home.
I was trying to dodge it. I created one, and it wasn't really authentic of me, because I was putting things on there that were very materialistic, and I was like, I actually don't really care, because it's hard. Because when you're doing a vision board, it's like you need like the watts, and it's like a Rolex on there and like Range Rover, and I didn't have the drive for those things, which is quite. So I haven't got one. I have got one, but it's got
Both
all the
of
wrong
those
things on
you've
it.
actually had, and then isn't it funny that you realise those things just don't ignite your life?
Yeah.
Like it changes.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I haven't got one at the moment, but I probably should do. But there is something I haven't actually told you with business.
Go on.
So we're actually starting a company that is all trades under one roof.
Okay.
So we're getting we've got the store. We've got two. We're basically merging together. So me and two other business partners are coming together, and we all complement each other. We come from different backgrounds, and essentially what we're trying to achieve is we're like your one-stop shop for trades. So if you need even solar panels, if you need plastering or rendering, because if you call a roofer and they call you up, but you call a roofer, sorry, how many roofers, if any, do you know that you can go into a shop and you can go and have a look at the roof tiles, or have a look at and speak to them? It doesn't exist. So it's a bit like a showroom. So we've got landscaping we're going to do, so you can go in and see different types of patios and
so you're going to have an actual store?
Yeah, we've got.
This is exciting.
We've got the store. Yeah.
Oh, have you?
So we still do the exterior cleaning and all of the cherry picker high level access stuff, but we're just merging everything into one, and we want somewhere where clients can come in, have a coffee, know who they're doing business with. If there's a problem, which hopefully there won't be, but if there's a problem, they can come and speak to us. So that's launching in January.
That's so exciting.
And we're doing the renovation next month. But it's all step by step. It's all sort of coming together, which is
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
I love seeing, knowing that you were a bucket and a squidgy doing your rounds, squidgy, whatever it is. And now I see your drone videos, and you're up on this cherry picker, doing roofs, and it's incredible to see that progress.
I think there was a moment actually that's come back to me then. I had this vision in my head as well. So I would envision a lot of the future. So I guess that's something that I do that I don't realise, is I envision the future. And there was a time, it was the first roof clean that we done on a massive house, and it was this big cherry picker, and I never worked on cherry pickers, and we've got this big cherry picker 21 meters up in the air, and I've got my new machine, and the guys are cleaning, and I'm like, I just for a moment it hit me. I stood back, and I was like, oh, I'm here. This is what I've been trying to. I wanted to clean a roof on a cherry picker,
and now you're here.
And I was with a bucket and a squeegee. I'm here. This is exactly where I've been trying to get to, and so that was quite a nice moment actually, in my own little head.
You definitely downplay where you've got to. I think it's absolutely unreal given the cards that have been dealt to you.
Yeah.
And the challenges just one after the other.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And it's exciting as well that you're going to go into partnership with other people, because it is quite a lonely bloody place.
It is.
When you're a solopreneur.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
It's dark. I've had some dark times during this journey. And that was probably one of the contributing decisions for me. There was a lot of other decisions, really positive, but it definitely factored into me going, as much as I love this business and I could take over the world, now's the right time to sell and go into partnership with my friend. with one of our other companies. So I'm still a solopreneur, but now I've got someone to talk to bounce ideas off, to sort of, you're not alone.
When you sold that business, it's like your baby though, isn't it? Did you really want to, did you find it easy, or did you find it, because I know for me, it was a bit like my security blanket.
Yeah. When the completion of the sale of my company went through, that was like the worst month. It felt like the worst month of my life, which in the grand scheme of things that people go through is quite insignificant, but it felt so significant to me. I just didn't know who I was. And honestly, it took a few months to like find myself again, because it was everything I knew. It was my purpose. I'd get up every day, like running the ship. And it was a really uncomfortable like chapter.
Yeah.
And I was like, who am I? Like, that's everything that I was. So it was, yeah, exciting though, because like we were talking about earlier, it's taking that leap of faith. I was so nervous. I knew I'd have to take this big risk in selling the company, but I knew that pivot was going to be so helpful for like my next chapter. And it like, it shook me to my core, because I was like, nothing's set up. Like, I don't know what the next 2 years looks like, whatever. So it was so scary. I actually moved in with my mum for that period of the transition, because it was quite significant. And I'm single, well, you know that. I don't have children. It was quite a lonely period as well, because I was making this huge life-changing decision. It felt life-changing. It was the best thing I ever did. I don't regret a thing. And thankfully, the way I operate now, like, I still have my clients. They're still like my family.
Yeah.
And I'm just on that new chapter. But it's horrible, isn't it? It's like taking that leap of faith. It was almost like going from employment to being self-employed. I remember when I had a business partner, you'll probably find this relatable. Yeah. Well, before I had a business partner, and I was employed, and my first business partner, that lasted less than 6 months before the business was even anything. I was still bound by that like level of loyalty to my employer, but also it was such a scary leap to think, oh my God, what if it doesn't work? The self-doubt. And thankfully, Will sort of pushed me into business and self-employment. That's the truth. Like, I didn't wake up and go, right, see you guys, I'm off to set up my business and take over the world. It was like, shit, actually, like, I could really make loads of money and have security, or I take a leap of faith. And I was a bit like foot in, foot out, foot in, foot out for ages. And then I remember Will said to me one day, we'd obviously been behind the scenes, like doing inspirational talks about how that business would look, how we would work together, created the logo, which felt really unfaithful to the company that I was working for. So I sort of paused it and I was like, do you know what? I don't think I'm ready. Like, I want to give them my everything. Worked out perfectly for us both at that time. But I remember, there's a point to this ramble. Will sent me a text and said, let's go for dinner. I want to chat. And I was like, okay, cool. Bit nervous, because I was like, what's he want to chat about? Like, we haven't spoken about like the business and whatever. And I remember he sat there in the cliff and he said, I'm just going to put it out there. Next week, I'm going ahead with this business. So you're either in or you're out. And I was like, what? My belly's rumbling. Sorry, guys. Fasting isn't doing too good for me, honey. He was like, you're in or you're out. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I'm taking all our ideas and I'm launching them. So you're either in or you're out. And I remember sitting there and my stomach was in my mouth and I thought, I've got no fucking choice. I can't let this man launch. And the funny thing is, I bet that was like a logo and a dream. It was a logo and a dream. That logo transformed into what I created in the end. But that moment, I was like, no. It pushed me into like taking that step. And without that moment, thank you very much, Will, I would have probably stayed employed.
So when you made that leap of faith, could you see it Could you see the vision of what you wanted to achieve, or where you were going, or what it looked like?
What it looked like at the time is very different to what I actually built, which is funny because obviously it was a joint drive. So there was 50-50.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Will's input into that. And I didn't really know what I was doing. Will had run successful companies. So he was actually originally my manager. And that's how we knew each other. And then he'd gone off and set up companies. But yeah, at the time, I guess in that moment, it was like that belief and like vision of we're going to have our own agency. I knew there was a niche in the market because at the time, I don't know if you remember, I won't say their names, but everything was going online. There was like a big shake in the property industry. I'm choking, sorry. There was a big shake in the property industry where everyone was like, there's the death of the high street agent. And agents were starting to work remotely or not have an office. So that it was a real pivotal time and one that we knew we needed to jump into. But what I ended up creating when Will was no longer part of the business was not what I sat there and held on to. It was a totally different thing. So, but without that series of events, I probably wouldn't have taken the plunge. So I'm so grateful, and it worked out for him as well. So, yeah.
I think if you can see it, you can achieve it.
You feel it and you're like...
And, you know, if anybody's watching this and you're in a job that you don't really like, but you've got a business idea and you can see it, you can vision it. Don't listen to what anybody says, because if you can see it, I believe you can achieve it.
It's exciting. You know, like sort of coming here and you're out of your comfort zone and like that excitement and nerves and like you just got to just do it.
Make
like that
sure
1%.
Ride that imposter syndrome. Get used to it. Get comfortable feeling uncomfortable.
That is the best advice you could give anyone. Even now, I live by that. If it doesn't feel uncomfortable, I don't feel like you're progressing personally.
It's all part of growth.
Yeah, and sitting with it. We were actually chatting when we had a little break about just what I touched on then, but in your life. So before you took the plunge, obviously you'd tinkered in your mind with going self-employed like we've discussed, and then you sort of had that push as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So at the time when I was in corporate, a new manager came in and we didn't click, and it was a push for me to go, right, you had the business idea in the back of my mind, knew what I wanted to do, but she essentially pushed me out. But at that moment in time, she was my worst enemy. Like, oh, she's so-and-so, whatever.
There's nothing worse than not getting on with someone.
And you don't see it at that time, but that was a blessing in disguise, because it just gave me that little nudge, and then I had the faith, I had the vision, there was no plan B, and I went and just done it. And we're still doing it. And that vision does change as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always changing. Yeah, because that's part of growth.
And your direction and your vision, it's like constantly evolving. Do you ever get it where people are like, well done, like you're absolutely smashing it, and inside you're thinking, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. That's how my brain works.
That's how you need to be. Like, I feel like you're always, or for me, I'm always chasing Charlie in 5 years' time. And like in the past, and like now when I've got to where I am, and I'm like, I've got it. Well, I haven't, because Charlie's gone. He's 5 years ahead now. So where you are now, you need to get moving.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's like, so in the early days, I'm going to sound so fucking shallow, but I used to be motivated by nice cars, watches, the idea of having like room full of like Louboutins. Didn't at that point, that vision, I didn't even have one pair. When I got all of those things, I wasn't happy. Nice early lesson to learn. So, but you always have to have something. And I don't know, I don't think it's a bad thing being driven by materialistic things, certainly in the early days, because it's all that you've known in that world that you're in. But then as you personally grow and develop and change and have life experiences, your like desires tend to change. Like you said that earlier as well. And it's like, but the core never changes. Like when I look back and I think, holy moly, like I've got my own podcast, like I've got some incredible opportunities in broadcasting and TV, and like I've got a luxury holiday letting company with my best friend. I'm consulting and changing people's lives across the country. Like I never imagined that would happen. It's just pivoted and ended up like that. But I'm still chasing. I'm still like, so I have to have those moments and go, Laila, this is like your dream.
Yeah.
This is your dream. Like, but you're still chasing. I'm still chasing, like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about boxing. Well, are you running? Are you still running?
Oh, I've got a bulge in my discs. So I'm
What?
like,
Sorry, that sounded.
I got a bulge in my disc. Is that what I've got? In my lower back, had MRI scans and all that. So I'm like going through like rehab therapy.
So
I haven't done
now.
any running. Haven't been doing any boxing. But the light is at the end of the tunnel.
That's
because good. I've been having treatment and rehab, and we're starting to move again. So I should be.
Is that an injury from
soon.
Doing?
It was ever since that fight, which would have been like 10 months ago. Ever since then, I've been out of action. But actually, in that fight, I had the injury in my back.
But you didn't know, and it.
No, I did know, and
oh God.
I probably should have pulled out, but I didn't, because obviously there was meaning behind the fight, and yeah, we got the win anyway, so it's all good.
You won.
But yeah, we got the win.
Did Huey watch the fight?
No, because it's he's under 18, so yeah, it was.
Oh, you're not allowed to watch.
No, there's like alcohol, isn't there, and things like that.
Just we've gone off slightly on a tangent, but for those that like don't know what we're talking about, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, my little sister Tiana, she passed away, and that was about 2 or 3 years into the business. She was going through a hard time, and she left 2 beautiful little girls behind. And that again shook me, because this is still early stages into the business, and it really obviously wobbled me. You just want to put your head in the sand and go on your knees, and you're like, yeah. So I had to set a goal. Me and my little sister, we had a conversation, and I was like, probably a year, gonna do this.
You've got this, mate. I
can normally talk about it. I always wanted to get into the ring. I didn't have the courage to do it. And when we had a chat on the phone, she was like, I'd come and watch her. I'm like, come on, Charlie. And then she'd like do this little giggle thing. So when she passed, I was like, I need to set a goal. And that conversation, I thought, right, I'll do the fight in memory of her, to honour her, and to sort of keep me on track. So that's what I've done. So we done the fight for her, and we'll be coming up to our year anniversary soon.
Gosh.
But in that training and the running, I could always hear her voice vividly. Go back to that phone call. Come on, Charlie, have a little giggle. There's always going to be obstacles in life that are going to be thrown at you, and you need to decide how you're going to take that. And for me, it was like, that was my way of connecting with her, and with like my addictive personality and stuff. If I started drinking or doing recreational drugs or whatever, that's not me. That's not what I do. That's my past. But if I did do that, like, what is that going to open up a massive can of worms? Probably. So it's just, that was my way of,
it derailed you, wouldn't it?
Just trying to channel those negatives into the right things. And I think anybody that's going through like challenges, you can harness all of that and just put it into something that is going to benefit your life. Don't let it derail you.
Yeah. I think you are honestly such a great role model for my nephew. You are. You are. Like, the cards that were like dealt to you and what you are doing and who you've become, you should be so fucking proud of yourself. It's unreal. And it's not easy, and literally the things that you've been through in your life, one is traumatic enough for someone to go through once in their life, and to be hit the whole way through with the most traumatic experiences and to keep going, it's absolutely unreal. And to keep on that path, it's honestly inspirational. And I couldn't be prouder that my nephew's got such a role model of a dad.
Thank you.
Because mental health is such a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know you're a huge advocate for that, and you like want to like be able to help people by sharing your story and sitting here as well.
Yeah. I hope it helps somebody, and that's one of the main driving forces of being on here today.
Definitely. How are you coping with grief, like in your day to day? Like what? Just by all the things that you've sort of said, like you keep into your routine, you're like staying focused.
I don't know. I think you can either let it make you or break you. And how do I cope with grief? I just probably distract myself.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Don't think you ever do really get over grief. It's something you've got to really sit with, which I think you've done incredibly well.
And I think the way I handle all of this is try and get some kind of positive out of it, because I would have never done a boxing match, for example, but also I feel like she's still with me, still think she's still here, and that's how I cope with it.
Yeah.
And I might have like a conversation with her.
Do you?
Because yeah,
she'd be so proud of you. Oh, that's a moment. Thanks for sharing that, Charlie.
You're welcome.
I was going to say to you, for anyone who's like watching this podcast, I feel like such great insights have come from you anyway. And the fact your whole journey and like everything is just so inspiring. What would you say to someone that maybe feels like they're in a very dark place for whatever reason, drink, drugs, grief? Like what, maybe they're feeling like they can't turn things around. Like what advice would you give them?
You 100% can. And I would say that you are just in one chapter of your life. And there is lots of different chapters that you're going to go through. If you haven't had children, you might have a child that is going to be born one day. And that's the best thing ever to happen, is to have, that's the best thing for me, is having Huey. And just look at its chapters and just ride that wave that you're going through, because that chapter that you're going through at the moment isn't a reflection of your whole entire life. And one thing I haven't said is I have like back in the past I was on like antidepressants. I've dabbled in all of that, and sertraline, if you ever had that, like that was I couldn't get out of bed. This is when I was in like the hospitality game. I've dabbled in all of that, but the best thing for me is none of that. Just train, goal set. So yeah, I would just say that. But if antidepressants work for people, it works for people, doesn't it? So
didn't work for you.
Didn't work for me.
No.
Essentially, yeah. Get used to being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, and yeah, they are just chapters. It's not a reflection of your whole entire life, and you will get through it. Trust me, you will, if you want to, and try and take some kind of positive out of it. Yeah.
Great advice, Charlie. What would you say your proudest moment so far?
Having Huey. Hands down, just being a father. Yeah, it changes everything. You need to, it's not about you anymore. You need to be the best. I believe I need to be the best version for me. I'm only human. I make mistakes, and I try my best because I want to be a role model for him. But after that, it's having the courage to start my own business and grow it to the position that it is in. We're in a position now where we've tendered for a £500,000 contract. So gone from bucket and a squeegee, knocking on people's doors. Hi, do you need a window cleaner? Please let me clean your windows. That was a few years ago. And now we've got cherry pickers, brand new, and we're tendering for opportunities like that because we've got the infrastructure, we've got the training, we've got the team, we've got everything that we do, we've got the reputation,
It's amazing.
So yeah, to do that, but it all comes down to
Boy from the estate did good.
Born Estate.
Was it Born Estate as well? Oh, well, boy from the estate, Born Estate did good.
From the council estate.
On a high note, do you know what's been pinging in my brain? We were at my old apartment, and do you remember I had those shorts, boxing shorts? They're Floyd Mayweather's Hublot on the wall.
Yeah.
I want to share that was definitely the moment that you named your son. Do you remember you and Rainey said, Layla, like Auntie Lala, like, have you got any suggestions for a name? And how, do you remember this? I looked at the Floyd Mayweather shorts and it said Hublot. And I looked at you and went, Huey.
Yeah.
And you went, you got really emotional, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you're like, was that a name that you'd, or I had no idea, did I?
Yeah, so we got the name from my granddad. So he's Hugh or Huey. And I had that in the back of my mind. And we came to see you and you went, Huey, and I was like, that's it.
Which?
Job done.
Job done, Rainey. Sorry, you've got no... Oh, good times.
Because it's nice, it has more meaning then as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has a lot of meaning.
Like, then you don't forget moments like that was so special.
Yeah.
You really are an incredible role model. And I was so excited for you to come here. And I'm like, feel really honoured that you've been so open and shared some really deep, personal, intimate things that have like formed you into like the person that you are. And you could have easily gone down a totally different...
Oh, 100%.
And you haven't. And that's absolutely inspirational.
100%. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming on.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Let's have a hug.
Got there in the end.
Yeah. Come on, lad.
Oh.
Don't worry about the makeup now.